Oof. Okay. Did it fall out? Or is it just grown?
It fell out.
Well, you can't really.
We're going to go this side. It's late to see all shots. Come back. Oh,
I know I saw something white in there.
and it will roll on
Yeah,
it itself and give it itself.
There it is.
Or what? It roll off.
Jordan, just a good thing.
Pretty low ball, but yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us here at Ravens Sports Pack. I thought I already started. So I did a whole intro and everything. So thank you. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content as well. So we'll get to that shortly, the social media content. So let's go ahead and do our normal bit of business here at the beginning. Genesis Notary Services is here for you as well. So definitely check that out. If you are in the Winchester, Virginia area, definitely got appointments all the time with Genesis Notary Services. Thanks to all of you that are watching. We really appreciate that as well. All of you out here watching that. So we're very grateful for that here. Also to as well, Harris Legal Shield. So absolutely check that out, Harris Legal Shield. It's a great resource for all of you out there, Legal Shield. If you want to go ahead and save money, definitely go ahead and use Legal Shield as well, especially you young people. If you're parents for the first time, you need a will, or parents, even if you've been parents like for me, like maybe a long time, want to get that will in order, want to get those legal matters in order. So definitely, absolutely check it out. RavenSports.company.site. Absolutely go ahead and go on that RavenSports.company.site as well. That is definitely Ravens hats like this, Orioles hat. We are keeping an eye on see if the Ravens do change logo with everything that's going on. So definitely keep that in mind as well. So also to 2026 MLB predictions on March 22nd. Check that out. Okay, so definitely we're going to get the baseball season ramped up and amped up and all ready to go with the Orioles starting. The season is starting this year. Keep in mind on March 25th, not the 6th, because Netflix is going to have the first game. Yankees, I think Giants are in the first game as well. So keep that in mind as well. Everybody's going to watch that on Netflix, first game of the year. On 8 o'clock on Netflix, first game. Orioles start the next day against Minnesota. We're going to talk about opening day. We're going to talk about the Orioles as well. All right. Now, real quick, we're going to get to EDC in a second. Public service announcement. I do have to make this announcement to you guys. Now, if you're watching us right now, I don't think anybody is right now, matter of fact. You start a new page on Twitter, still didn't get it right. So basically what happened this week is the Raven Sports Twitter page is been hacked. For those of you that don't know, some of you, I'm sure some of you out there do know as well. So apparently it was a page to some Elon Musk thing. I have not seen it. I don't know as well. So this happened on Thursday night as well. So unfortunately, that page has been commandeered by that. So we're working with X and everything like that to get it back. I do not expect it anytime soon. Okay. So that is, if you are looking for that, that's not going to be the case. It's heartbreaking for me because that was our largest page and had the most following. So this is what you are going to see here for right now. We're calling it Ravery Sports 2 Deuce because we want people to know it's me. They're a little confused right now, I'm sure, seeing that stuff, a whole different page, all the people following, etc. So we're keeping that in mind. So we're doing everything we can to go ahead and get the new page up and running as well. So you may see that I'm going to be out here asking a few people, can I put some just put the announcement on there so people know that the new page is up and running as well as that goes. So that's important. The other stuff is still open. So if you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, all the other platforms, Spotify, Driving to the Top, everything, the rest of that is good to go. Well, unfortunately, our largest platform was hacked. So I guess it's a compliment. My platform was big enough where somebody wanted to steal it, like as well, in a weird way. So that's unfortunately what's going on right now with that. So we will go ahead and get that squared away. But the page now is live. Tonight, I don't know what's going on with Twitter as far as getting it live streaming. They've been having some issues. I've been having some issues with Twitter live streaming lately, period, even before that as well. So I don't know if it's because of that or etc. But that's what's going on there. So we will get that squared away as well. But we're still rolling. This is why you have multiple platforms like that. All right. Let's get down to business. So we're going to hear from the man himself, our very own general manager of the Baltimore Ravens. Every dollar counts. Let's see what he says. I think we should get straight to it as far as what he actually has to say about the trade going through. Obviously, every reporter there wanted to ask him about Max Crosby. So here we go. We got every dollar counts going over there.
I mean, I understand it. I understand it. We live in that age of skepticism and people question, especially people that don't really know me or know the Ravens culture and the Ravens organization. So I understand it. As I said at the beginning, we've got a responsibility. I've got a responsibility to the Ravens, to this community, to our fans, and to Steve Bisciotti to do what we think is best for the club. And that's what we always try to do. Every decision we make is based on this idea. Is this the best thing for the Ravens? It's very, very challenging. Again, I understand how people might maybe from afar would feel that way, but nobody's more upset about this than me. Gutted by it, actually. And so a big regret for me. But we will move on as a football team. And I think there's many, many opportunities for us to grow as a team, to become a better team, to build a roster, and to be the team that we want to be.
Because I don't want to do Winchester. You made a good point.
All right.
On Monday.
So that is every dollar counts. Eric DeCosta talking about what happened. We're going to go over that as well. But obviously, there's a lot happened here in the last couple of days. So let's go over it as well. We're going to go over the NFL. But tonight we're talking about free agency as well because it's been a roller coaster ride. It's been unbelievable what's happened here. So blockbuster trade. March 10th for the Ravens, 2 first-round picks to the Las Vegas Raiders was reneged, used a spades term by the Ravens, due to a failed physical. So whatever the physical ailment was, Ravens were aware, from what I do understand, that there was some injury issues with Max Crosby, whatever. He did recently have a surgery. They brought him in. What happened after that? Ravens backed out of the deal. But I thought that was fascinating. The Raiders were very, very clear about who. No, they didn't take any. No, they over there. You guys over there. Y'all backed out. The Ravens. They backed out of the deal. What happened next morning? This happened this morning. Trey Hendrickson signs a 4-year, $112 million deal March 11 with the Ravens as well. So, a couple things here. Ravens now, obviously, with the deal being over, there is 2 first-round picks that they will get back. So they're back on the clock at 14 in this coming NFL draft as well. So I can't. This is being content creator today. I can't wait to hear the comments. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Is whatever. I would have went live earlier today, but obviously I had to work today, so I couldn't obviously go live today. But I got to tell you, I was really, really, really in shock by this move. Is whatever. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Eric DaCosta was being genuine there? He didn't. By the way, he didn't deny that he didn't say no that this is overblown or whatever. He didn't go into details, whatever. I do believe, and this is just what I think here. He capitulated. I do think that's what happened. I think Trey Hendrickson was available where they didn't think he would be. I think he looked at it and said, you know what? This guy's maybe this deal maybe isn't what we thought it was. We don't need to do this because he didn't really want to give up those draft picks. And we all said it. That was way out of line, way out of character for Eric DaCosta to give up those type of draft picks. Now, EDC gets to keep his draft picks and bring in Trey Hendrickson, a guy he's very familiar with, very successful with Cincinnati. Is he as good as Max Crosby? I don't think so. Not at his best. Had some injury issues last year himself. However, I do think he did not want to give up the draft picks. Now, another thing he said also, which was fascinating, that he was trying to get both guys. I don't buy that. I don't believe you. He wasn't spending $20 million, $30 million on both edges. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Now, it may be true. I don't know. Maybe some of you believe that. I don't. I'm saying no. I'd be shocked if he was spending that type of money on both edges. But that being said, the sneaky way, as angry as people were, as angry as the Raiders were, whatever, this is what they wanted. They got a big-time edge rusher to help the defense, really help a soft spot, a spot on the defense that was really helped. And they actually now get to not lose 2 first-round picks. They get to keep the pick. They can start Trey Anderson on one side, Mike Green on the other. Or they could go in the draft, get Cassius Howe, look at the offensive line. I'm sure they're going to be looking at offensive line, and we're going to go into free agency, the other parts of it here in a second. But it was quite a week as well. And I'll say this fans, and I know some people think this happens way more than you think. This is big time in terms of the caliber of player. It's a little unusual, but I thought about this. I talked about this last night. Where Dante Culpepper years ago and Drew Brees were free agents. Dolphins were in the catbird seat to sign these 2 free agents. They were going to sign Drew Brees when he was going to go right before he went to New Orleans. They backed out of the deal because of injury concerns, and they wound up signing Culpepper. Culpepper winds up starting for them, getting injured himself, and it didn't work out as well. Drew Brees goes on, and the rest is history, becomes the top 10 quarterback in the history of the NFL for the Saints and wins the Super Bowl for them. So physicals aren't things that are, and it's not a league thing. You don't have to have a physical to do a trade. They could have done it without the physical. It's happened before. They could waive the physical. The Ravens have actually waived this. So we'll see how this works. But all's well. I think all's well. Look, getting Trey Hendrickson, I think, factored into this. We'll see. We're never really going to know, but this was fascinating. Now we're talking as well. Other news. What stayed in the door? Awuzie was a big surprise for the Ravens last year. 1 year, $5 million guaranteed. He's sticking around. So now we're here after the deadline, and Marlon Humphrey's still here. He wasn't cut, so we'll see how that goes, how the money goes. But Marlon, Awuzie, and Wiggins. So we'll see how they feel about that as far as corners. Really hoping that Tyler Huntley resigned. He did 2 years, $5 million. Durham Smythe, a 5-year $1 million. So they're going to look. They had to resign Tyler Huntley. You had to keep him. You had to go ahead and bring him back as well, considering how much trouble you had. Now you've resigned Tyler Huntley. What do you do with Cooper Rush? I didn't see any move on that. He's still here. Are you going to keep 3 guys or just release them at some point? Or keep 3, we'll see about that. Durham Smythe from the Bears. So this is a guy that's familiar with Declan Doyle, the new offensive coordinator here as well. Wait a second. Declan Doyle as well. That's a guy that's going to go ahead and be a blocker tight end. So we'll go over the losses as well. But tight end certainly a need now with all the moves as well. Ravens resigned John Simpson, 3 years, $30 million. Simpson played with the Ravens in 2023, 3 years, $30 million. I think he was with the Jets. This is funny because they didn't want to give him this contract years ago. They had so many troubles at guard with John Simpson gone. So had you just given him this type of contract before, you may not have had all the troubles that you had. So you seek out John Simpson to fix your guard problems when you would have had him maybe if you had signed him. So I think that's quite fascinating here as well. It's kind of got lost in all the Max Crosby, Henderson, all that stuff. But I think that's a fascinating thing. So they're actually bringing him in. What went out the door? A whole lot. Tyler Linderbaum, 3 years, $81 million. That's $27 million per for Linderbaum. He is going to be a Raider. He's got a teammate now, Max Crosby. The Ravens were not going to pay this price. There's an old poker term, too rich for my blood. That's what this was. They were willing to give him more than Humphrey, 21 million. They paused every time it got to this type of number. They paused. That's why they didn't give him the 5th-year option. This is why they didn't franchise him. This is why they didn't pay it in free agency. The Raiders did. $27 million. Clearly, I think Linderbaum might have been the best player in all free agency. Certainly the best offensive lineman, certainly best center as well. A lot of guys going to the Giants. That's not a shock. Isaiah Likely, 3 years, $40 million, going to the Giants. He's going to go ahead, be the starting tight end for the Giants. Draymond Jones going to the Pats as well, playing with former coach Mike Vrabel. 3 years, $39 million. That doesn't surprise me there as well. The amount of money Charlie Kolar got is a bit much. This guy was a third tight end, not really a pass catcher blocker. Again, playing for Harbaugh. Again, this time the brother, Jim Harbaugh. 3 years, 200. 3 years, $24.3 million as well. Alohi Gilman acquired in a trade for Ole last year. He signed with Kansas City Chiefs because they had a need, obviously, there as well, because they lost a lot of secondary help. Also, Giants, Jordan Stout got passed. So Jordan Stout also to a Pro Bowl season, best season of his career last year. John Harbaugh, he's going to also join John Harbaugh in New York. Same thing with Project Pat Card. He's going to take over at fullback. So that's going to be a really big backfield with Project Pat Ricard and Cam Scatterbo on the field. This is definitely not a surprise that these guys that went are Harbaugh guys. These guys like him. Also, too, I didn't have a graphic of Darius Washington, also another Raven that's actually going to go play in New York. And we may see more as well, for sure, as we go along here as well. DJ Moore, former Terp, is traded from Chicago to Buffalo. Buffalo badly needing a second receiver. Buffalo badly needs a second receiver. There's no question about it with them. Trent McDuffie goes to the Chiefs, goes from the Chiefs, rather, to the Rams. So they go ahead, traded a first-round pick here last week. So the Rams actually go ahead. They had 2 first rounds to give one to Kansas City. McDuffie gets an extension with the Rams. Look, the Rams might be, I think, the favorites, at least right now, in the NFC. Because the only really weakness they might have had last year after getting into the championship game was the corner. They go out and get the 2, maybe you could argue 2 best corners on the market. So not only did they go and trade for Trent McDuffie, they also get Jalen Watson from Kansas City, 3 years, $51 million, 34 guaranteed. So that's a lot of money for him to go ahead and get that. A little bit more risky, but again, the defense is so solid. That's probably not, but this is where they needed help. They didn't wait for the draft to go ahead and got 2 vets. Rick Woolen, definitely one of the part of that outstanding Seattle defense. 1 year, $15 million. The Eagles went ahead, go ahead, sign him. Interesting. Eagles going in the secondary. So Eagles all of a sudden have some issues. Age issues, losing Lane Johnson, possibly their offensive line getting older, trade talk of Jalen Carter, interesting, losing to Kobe Dean, etc. Issues there. Getting Reek Wooten, I think that kind of helps him a little bit with that young secondary. They have Squealers signing Michael Pittman from the Colts. They got a trade going. The Steelers badly needed it. I mean, they badly needed it as well. 3 years, $59 million as well. You got to throw somebody besides DK Metcalf. So that's for sure. Jamel Dean, 3 years, $56 million. Signing good corner, about 30. But again, Steelers, again, badly need corners. So definitely they go in areas. The thing I will, not a Steelers fan, but they always go what they need. They don't just go. This is a franchise. They never go 2-3 off seasons and not address whatever. They address it right away. Good under the radar signing here, Rico Dow. 2 years, 1.25, $12.25 million as well. I thought he was really good with Carolina last year, so that's actually a pretty good signing as well. I think. To me, I think this was the biggest surprise. I think of all the signings, in my opinion, Mike Evans. That's a pretty big contract for a guy. Over 30, had some injury issues, but he's going to 49ers. So the 49ers, and again, no shit. I mean, Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. I've always been a big Mike Evans guy, but he's probably over 30, had some injury issues. They're getting rid of Brandon Ayuk, adding him with a player like this. We'll see how this works, but that's probably more than I thought he would get as well. Couple more here. Didn't have graphics as well. Alex Pierce, 4 years, 116 for the Colts. The Colts had to do it. I think they were just bet the price. I think that was the right thing as well. Go ahead and do that. Jalen Phillips, formerly of the Eagles, traded midseason. Carolina spent some money on him. 4 years, 120. Adafi Owe, 4 years, $100 million. The Commanders, that's too much. that's too much. I think that he also went to the wrong place. I think that's more than probably for sure that I would have paid him, but that's more than I would have done there as well. A couple more. John Franklin Myers from Denver over to the Titans. Titans need help everywhere as well. Let's see. Oh, Kenneth Walker, big time. Chefs getting a Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks. That's a good signing, I think, for them. Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, he probably had the worst running back, I think, starter in the league. I think he's definitely third down back as well. They did get Kenneth Walker. They did lose Brian Cook as well. So he's going from the Chiefs to the Bengals. Bengals absolutely need help on their back end as well. Romeo Doubs heads to the New England. They are losing Stephon Diggs, so that's a good move for them. Travis Etienne, obviously going from Jacksonville to New Orleans. New Orleans definitely needed a running back. New Orleans absolutely had to do it as well. Let's see here. Last night he was talking about Cade Mays. Probably here's a guy went from Carolina, 3 years, $25 million. Definitely a rebuild on the Lions line. Ashley Vera Tucker, absolutely the Pats need help on the offensive line there as well. There you go. All right. So thank you very much for that as well. So a lot of free agent activity as far as the Ravens go and everything. Free agency still going on, but the first couple of days so important in NFL free agency as well. So one more time, let's talk a little Maryland basketball here. 87-82. We're going to talk about the games here as well. We're going to talk about this one here first. So the last regular season game, the senior night, Tarps in the last stretch, I'm gonna give them credit. They did fight. They didn't give up on their coach. They didn't give up on their school. They didn't give up. So I give them credit for that because they definitely were fighting hard in this last little bit of the season. I thought that was really, really, really impressive. But it was also clear they didn't have horses here this year. So that was cool. The game on Sunday, Illinois and Maryland. So what happened? Kalen Boswell. I didn't think Illinois played their best game, really, and they still won. I mean, I don't think they shot the ball particularly well, but they still had enough. But they definitely have more moving parts. There are about 8 or 9 really good players on that team. Kalen Boswell, not a great shooting night for him. 11 points, 3 assists. I thought he was only really good late in the game. Probably expected more from him. Keaton Wagner, I didn't think he was great either. I thought he had 11 points. He obviously finished second in scoring. But again, the shooting was really not great for them on the outside of this one. So the Terps, give them credit defensively, really getting after it. We talk about Andre Mills, Darius Adams. I think Darius Adams is very underrated defensively. I see this I've noticed that where guys he's going against aren't having great offensive games. So that's true. But this was the guy here, David Merkovich. This was what we call back in the day like a tap fest. That's what he had. Every time you see him with the ball, he's tapping it and getting it in, tapping and getting it in, to the point where he had 22 points. Terps' lack of size really hurt them. Callan Metcalf is just out there playing, I think, only because of his size. He's 6'9". You don't have Pharrell Payne the last stretch here. So he doesn't really offer anything. I mean, as far as on offense, almost nothing. I mean, I've seen several games where he didn't score. But Merkovich, I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, he was having an outstanding game. Outstanding stuff. That shout out to Andre Mills here at the end of the year. I think certainly he's going to be the biggest priority going forward in the transfer portal, which is starting here as well. 30 points, 4 rebounds as well. He's a little Energizer bunny. Really, like he really moves with great speed. I like to see him improve his body control. When he shoots, I just pray. Like he's streaky. He's got to get more fundamentally sound. But the energy, the speed, it's all there. The leaping ability, it's all there. So definitely too. Number one priority, keeping Andre Mills, I think, with this freshman class. Darius Adams, I think, in this game was kind of typical Darius Adams. Good on defense, which is why he's playing. Too many lulls on offense. He's got to get more not aggressive enough on the offensive end. You can't, when you're a guard, you need to be doing stuff all the time. You got to be scoring. It looks like sometimes he just got, like Dickie Colt, the guy who was kind of he was even benched, I thought, in the Big Ten tournament for Dickie Colt. Dickie Colt's going to keep moving. He's not always going to play as well, shoot as well, certainly not on defense, but he's going to keep moving. But again, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 14.3 rebounds as well. So not bad at all for Darius Adams. I thought this is kind of what you get from him as well. Solomon Washington, again, some people are going to look at this stat line and say, well, 5 points, 7 rebounds. This is kind of, I think, the player he is. and let me tell you something about Solomon Washington. It's been my pleasure to watch him. I really mean that. I tweeted out one time, well, he makes Dennis Rodman look tired. I agree. I mean, he does. There's never a second on that court where he's not working hard, diving for the loose ball, getting the rebound, getting the outlet. He really is a tremendous effort. They needed him to score too much. That was almost a bad thing because not that he's not capable of scoring, but man, if you could have just Pharrell Payne have been here and really be that good piece of meat and potatoes, that would have been really cool to go ahead and get that here as well. So Maryland did lose in this game, 78-72. I thought Illinois is definitely going to the tournament. I don't know how good they're going to do in the tournament. Certainly they're Sweet 16 capable. Watching them here as well. Big Ten Tourney this week is going on. So Maryland has already been eliminated today. They were eliminated from the Big Ten tournament. They had to obviously win it with their record to actually get the tournament, which would have been very hard to win 6 games. So Maryland yesterday was victorious over Oregon, 70-60 as well. Oregon was very disappointing as well. I think higher expectations. I think they even started okay, but they really fell late in the season as well. So Maryland actually took advantage. Maryland also, too, and I could say in that game, what I did see that game, Maryland and Oregon, again, it's kind of what I'm talking about with Buzz Williams. They wanted to be there. Like, you can see it. They were hustling. They always are. The Buzz Williams has got a way getting these guys to hustle and play hard. Elijah Sanders, etc., hustle and play hard as well. So they definitely won that game 60-70. Not so good today, 64-75. Hawkeyes actually win this game as well. Hawkeyes have better players than Maryland. I mean, I think that's just is what it is. They don't have the Terps just didn't this season have enough offense at times. Isaiah Watts again today, he had 12 points. Darius Adams had 14. He even sat the bench. Colt played more than him. Metcalf gives you no offense at all. Colin Metcalf as well. Turkson, I've noticed they've only played him at the end of the half. He always plays like right at the end of the first half, and then he plays there. But you talk about Bennett Sturts, 17 points today. Cooper Cox, 19. Better players. Ohio and Iowa's got something to play for. They're on the bubble and they're trying to get in the tournament. So definitely that's true. Getting them in the tournament. So we will see about that. But Terps, that's it for the Terps this season. Transfer portal starts now. You're already seeing coaches getting fired. You're already seeing moves being made as well. Damon Stoudemire, one of my players was fired from his alma mater, Georgia Tech. The coach is already moving because they have to do it now. As we saw last year with Kevin Willard, the transfer portal is starting now, right now. After the team, Maryland's already now starting tomorrow, going to go out getting players that are already out of tournament transfer portal. So if you're sitting around with no coach, that doesn't work. Those teams are already going to be working. So you're going to see a lot of coaching moves, a lot of coaching flurry happen even before the tournament starts, unfortunately, and a lot because they got to get the transfer portal going. Maryland, I would say, real quick, good freshman class coming in. We're all seeing that. So they're going to have a good group of freshmen come in and play going forward. So that's going to be really good for the Terps going forward to have that. But you try and keep you're going to try and keep Andre Mills. You're going to try and keep Darius Adams. Who knows what's going to happen with Pharrell Payne, if they're going to redshirt him or allow a redshirt. We'll see about that. NBA real quick. We're going to talk about the games, but you got to talk about this. So Miami Heat center, Bam, I didn't believe it when I heard it. When Dylan said it in the stream last night. He said Bam Adebayo scored 80 points. Like, Bam Adebayo scored 80 points? Then I said, well, who's he playing? And then I looked, he's playing the Wizards. Oh, never mind. So Bam Adebayo, 83 points last night, breaking the record of the legendary Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, who scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors years ago. So shout out to Bam Adebayo. Give him some credit here as well. Actually getting the record from the late great Kobe Bryant, 83 points. Now I didn't watch the game, so I don't know. I believe it though. It was started. What was that? 150 on the road. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. This guy is not even a scorer. I mean, for God's sake, probably right now on that team, he's, with the injuries that they've had, he's their best scorer. But as well, I'll this. We haven't talked a lot about the Miami Heat this year. I would say this. They might have one of the best coach in the league, Eric Spoelstra. He keeps his team competitive every year, regardless of what's there. is kind of similar to the baseball when we talk about Kevin Cash. Like, you don't worry about that. This is why Pat Riley has picked Eric Spoelstra so many years ago, his head coach as well. Now, that said, they're not playing a good team when you talk about the Washington Wizards. Wizards are not a good team. You know, my dad used to love Wes Unseld as a player. He used to really admire Wes Unseld. The fact that I still need to talk about Wes Unseld being such a great player years ago, that tells you how bad the Wizards franchise has been. Crazy. Like, how long it's been. I'm going to be not quite 5-0, not quite yet, but entire life I watched the Wizards in the early 80s and the 90s and 2000. Now we're in 2026. They've never had a good team. I don't think they made the conference finals my entire life, except for I think 77, and when I was born a long time ago. That's how bad they've been. Even in the 80s, they weren't very good, but they were a playoff team. They weren't a serious contender. The Wizards were never a serious contender during the Magic Bird era and any of that stuff. The Bullets at that time, but they were a decent enough team. But they've never. It's disgraceful what's going on. That's kind of more in my mind. Shout out to Bam Adebayo getting that record, but that's kind of what's more in my mind here. How bad the Wizards been. You want this record too for being bad as well. They drafted Alex Sarr years ago. He had a good game, 28 points, but they're just you can't get it right. It's unfortunate for a lot of those players as well. NBA this week, so definitely check it out. So we got March Madness Sunday. I wouldn't be remiss to say I'm gonna say March Madness as well, and March Madness selection show. We're gonna have it I'm not gonna have it, but 6:00 on 6:00 on CBS. So definitely check that out. Paramount Plus. For those of you have that on the tournament as well, so definitely you're gonna have that. They're gonna have a whole new broadcast group too, for the most part. You'll recognize Iron Eagle referee Nate Burleson, who does the CBS This Morning NFL Today, is going to be taking that over. That's a tough gig as well, and you'll see it. So you're going to see him. You're not going to see Ernie Johnson. Obviously, the late Greg Gumbel was synonymous with that, so keep that in mind. NBA this week, definitely too. I love watching the Spurs. I keep saying that. Not supposed to say that, I guess, as a Laker fan, but I love watching the Spurs. I think that's going to be huge on Thursday as well. I don't think it's a national game, so you may have to go ahead and use your league pass and do that as well. These could be, I think, two best teams in the NBA right now, the Nuggets and the Spurs, in terms of that. Wouldn't surprise me if either one of these teams actually won the NBA title as well. Seeing how Wemby does against Nikola Jokic is really fascinating. I think that's a thing as well. Saturday, Nuggets against my Lakers as well. Lakers have been doing better. They play better, it seems like, without LeBron. That sounds crazy, right? But LeBron, I think, doesn't really seem to want to be there, and he's not the same player. I think that's the thing. Austin Reeves, I keep trying to like you, man. I keep trying to thinking that you're going to be this outstanding player, you good player, good at spurts. I think like him in the number 2 role, I think as good as he's ever going to do. I think it's worse with him and LeBron. It's hard. There's a big difference in the NBA and basketball in general between the number 2 scorer and the number 3 scorer. 1 and 2 is may not be. Right. So, like, especially if it's a guard and a forward, or even if you got 2 guards, 2 wings, whatever, you kind of intermingle a bit. But if you're 3, that's a step down. You're just not going to touch it as much as if you are. And I think that's kind of what you see with Austin Reeves. I think he's another one. Attention level goes up and down. Nuggets should beat my Lakers here as well. Lakers do not have a good record against teams with a winning record. Sunday, I think also to one of the best games of the week, Timberwolves and the Thunder. Anthony Edwards, I think, is always a pleasure to go ahead and watch as well. That game is Sunday at 1:00, ABC, ESPN. Definitely check that out. I think the T-Wolves they're going to start, I think, getting a reputation like as a bridesmaid here pretty soon. Like they've been good, they've been conference finals a couple years, but see how they do. Like as far as that goes against the Thunder team, which I think their domination has been, I think it's easy. Outside of San Antonio and Denver in that conference, they're not close. And there's some good teams in the West. I think a lot of the good teams, best, possibly 5 of the 6 teams are in the West. All right. Talking a little NBA. Let's get to baseball here. Because we're going to get closer to the season. So we got a few more of these here. Top 10 list. After this, we only got 3 more. So next week, starting pitcher, relief pitcher. That's right before the season. And 1 more right after the season starts. The managers. We'll go ahead and get that squared away. So DH, who are the top 10 guys? DH. I personally, if I was a manager of an MLB team, I would have the same guy all the time. I don't know. I think managers kind of want to make this harder than it needs to be, in my opinion, because what you constantly hear them say is flexibility. There are some managers don't really want to use the same guy simply because, if a guy gets hurt, something like that, they need to use if Bryce Harper, with the Phillies, for example, Bryce Harper gets hurt for a few weeks, then you could go ahead and use him at DH. That's kind of the reason. For me, that doesn't do anything for me. I would want a guy who's going to produce every day than worry about if a guy gets hurt or why I gets flexible, whatever. However, these are the guys that hold the position. So some of these guys are going to have the most, figure to get the most at-bats at the DH position. So these guys, for the most part, the vets, guys that are been around for a minute, we will see here as well. 10, Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees. Believe it or not, he's still a good player as well. Well in his 30s at this point. Best days probably well behind them. When healthy, he's still a pretty decent player. 24 home runs last year, 66 RBIs, 273, 68 hits. He just DLs too often to be any higher than this. That's the only thing with him. You can't keep him healthy long enough. Probably underproducing considering his contract, but he's still a solid DH. I think you could do worse than that. This is kind of what I just talked about, where the Yankees really don't have this problem because they have all the money. But a team doesn't want this to happen. They don't want a guy that they have to pay and have play at DH and do all that other stuff when they could spread that money around and things like that. However, he still is he still has decent productivity when he's healthy. He's probably going to get you 25, 26 on run. Definitely has play presence and power still, even at his advanced age. Number 9, Marcell Ozuna. That is right, of the Pirates as well. So a couple years, he was really rolling as well in terms of his productivity with the Braves. So he definitely was a guy who was really productive with Atlanta for a couple years, but fell a little bit last year. 21 home runs, 68 RBIs. Here, he's not a really good guy. Not well liked. Again, guy well in his 30s, 35 years old, not playing the player he was. This guy's going to hit the ball. That's what you want. Pirates could use a guy with power. Not a bad risk to take on a guy like Ozuna to go ahead and do that. I still have him as far as DHs go in the top 10. Number 8, Yoshida of the Red Sox as well. So Red Sox have very strong outfield. So, so this guy probably would play. probably be playing in the outfield on different teams here. But Red Sox, 4 home runs, 26 RBIs, 50 hits last year, battling some injuries as well. Was on a 60-day DL, 32 years old. I think he's a good, solid hitter when healthy as well. Again, got to keep him healthy, but this is why DH is another thing. Keep guys healthy that can otherwise play if they only need to hit. Not a bad move to go ahead. Yoshida definitely protected in a decent lineup. Definitely he's a guy in a lineup. I think that's not a bad move having a Yoshida there in the lineup as well. Number 7, Yandy Diaz. So definitely to a lot of his career at first base as well. Now with the Rays, he's going to be DHing more. Solid 300 hitter. This guy's been a solid 300 hitter his whole career. He could be the next Julio Franco. I think he can be DH until he's like in his 40s because he can hit. I don't think he's anybody. He can rake. I don't know about power numbers and all that. That's kind of diminishing, but I think he's very underrated. Always hitting right around 300. Always hitting the ball well. 25, 83, almost 200 hits last year. 175. Career underrated hitter. I think a guy really is solid. As well. So the Rays, when you have a team like with financial constraints, this is a guy you want because he kind of goes under the radar and he's really productive. That's why that's what I've always liked about Diaz. Diaz is always a guy I'm doing these lists and I'm seeing Diaz like he's 5, he's 6, he's top at his position in several positions, several years and as well. You know this guy certainly if you watched the World Series last year. I think this guy. I was calling him Spartacus at one point, man, because he was really banged up during this whole thing, really gutted it out. But he had a tremendous year for the Jays. 309, 32 home runs, 84 RBIs, a real career resurgence for them as well. How much outfield will he play? I'm sure he will. I think he's going to get a lot of his at-bats at DH next year. I think this guy I think the sky's the limit. I think as far as his power numbers go, I don't see any reason why if he could stay healthy for a whole season, he can have a 20 home runs, 80 RBIs for sure. He can still hit. Definitely 36 years old, but not going to have – I think he's going to get as many at-bats at DH as he wants as well. Blue Jays definitely happy to have George Springer. Jordan Alvarez for the Astros. So you look at the Jordan Alvarez as well. So you don't worry about them. They still have Jose Altuve. They still have Jordan Alvarez as well. Injured last year. DH him full time. DH him full time now. I think I'm not worried about his production as well. Some would play him left field. I would DH. I think he is going to get most of his at bats at DH as well. Good power, actually a good hitter as well. Alvarez, I think, is probably going to be a guy, if you can keep him healthy, really about 30 and 100 RBIs. Big time players now. Brent Rooker from the Sacramento A's. And I'm calling him the Sacramento A's. I've got no problem calling him. Brent Rooker, I think, is a fantastic player coming up. I think 262 already got an extension. I think one of the best players, I think, going forward for them as they actually go into a new stadium. 164 hits. Rooker, I think, definitely can be their next Mark McGwire. I think definitely that's too. I don't care about the stadium situation. Also, too, with him, he's a power hitter. Period. Rooker, I think, is the real deal. He's the goods. That team is we do the MLB predictions. You wait to what I hear say about the A's. I think the situation again, a lot of good players there. Rooker's really good. Rooker's really got a lot of power. His for an average. I think he's not good defensively, obviously, which is why he's DHing, I think, but as well. Christian Yelich. May surprise you I have him so high, but I think Yelich, former MVP as well. I thought he was really good last year. 26, 264. 29 RBIs, 103. I think DHing him, I think, has really changed everything for it. I think he, again, health, keeping him in the lineup, I think is good. I think you could definitely still hit, even at his advanced age. I think getting him DH in that solid Brewers lineup is really, really a good thing for him. Definitely, I think he's going to hit 30 home runs this year. I really do. I really like what I've seen the last couple of years from Christian Yelich. My boy, Kyle Schwarber. I love Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber does everything wrong you're not supposed to do. I think I've said it several times with Schwarber. You're not supposed to swing for the fences. You're not supposed to have swing from the shoelaces. You're not supposed to strike this guy. And he's getting better as he's gotten older, right? He's not just – he hasn't gotten worse. But clearly now he's not even 30 and 20 home runs. He's about 56 home runs last year. His last couple of years, he's been massive. And for a while, he was hitting like 210, 212. Now he's at about 260. Show him what you're made of, Swarves. I think he's fantastic. Last couple of years, 56 home run, 38 home runs, 47, 46. Fantastic. I think he'd be number one under most circumstances. But obviously, Shohei Ohtani, I think he's the best hitter. I think he's the top 20 player of all time already. I think what he's doing is something that we've never, ever seen before on the mound. I think some people have him as a top 10 pitcher. I don't have him that high as a pitcher, but I think him as a DH, this is the only reason why he's DHing because you can use him on the mound. And this guy is an automatic 50 home runs and 100 RBIs every year for the last 6-7 years now. So he's also now on a team where he's got great protection around him, great manager, all that. Number one, I think Shohei, fantastic. There you go. All right. So that's the top 10 list as well. Next week, we're going to do that's our last for offense. Pitching next week, we're going to go ahead and get that done. We're going to go ahead and check that out. Orioles spring training reports. So this is 4 next week. I think it's next week. So next week we're going to go over. We're going to predict the 26-man roster. We're going to go ahead and do that as well. We're going to talk more spring training. Interesting to see how this is going. So kind of interrupted with the World Baseball Classic, which has been really good. Mark DeRosa, what are you talking about, man? It's terrible. That's a whole nother thing. But we'll see about that. So you're going to get some of those guys. Gunnar Henderson's been really good. We'll talk about that here as well. Kelby Mayo is making a strong case for a roster spot, highlighted by a tying 2 home run against the Astros earlier this week, hitting over 500, 1 home run, 10 RBIs, LPS 11.95. Mayo can hit. The question is, can he play third? That's not the issue. That's the problem, because you're not for sure going to have Jordan Westbrook here for the first month of the season. So can Kobe Mayo actually play third base every day? There's a reason why they moved him to first. So I like to see it more. I'm kind of thinking even that possibly they're kind of, in the last couple of spring training, it looks like they're kind of almost abandoning ship on that. So we'll see. Now they could be resting him. Well, this is kind of a weird spring, so we'll see. But I don't know. I think he needs to play more if he's going to play. Pitching staff, 157 strikeouts totally for the Grapefruit League. Shane Baez and Kyle Bradish have led the rotation with dominant outings. Bradish has been really good during the spring. So now you're seeing him getting a little bit more towards starting. I think he had like 5 innings. Baez has been good. The starters have been good. I mean, I think all across the board. Now this spring, tough to tell. You're hitting on guys who aren't going to be here, et cetera. They're going to come out. So you can't always read too much in the spring, but certainly they've looked good. All the starters as well. So that's actually really cool there as well. Ryan Mountcastle exited the game March 11th. That was today. Getting hit by a pitch in the 8th inning as well. Mountie has some issues there with the injury. So they checked him out. I think should be okay, no fracture, whatever. You also, too, in the spring, you got to be careful, like preseason football or anything like that, spring practice, little extra cautious. So sometimes your injury, you take a guy out, especially if it's a guy like Mountie, he's going to be on the roster. You're not worried about that as well. Kyle Bradish has been limited in spring training action, throwing 5 innings with only 1 run, 180 as well, and a whip of 0.6, sharp command, limiting runners on base. Ran out of room. I'm more thinking that Bradish is going to get the ball the first game. Based on the numbers between him and Rogers, based on that, they haven't announced it yet. That's interesting. Bradish getting that. Now, Rogers did get the first start as well, and Bradish has looked really good. Bradish is pretty good. I think the only thing is, can you keep him healthy for the whole season, which we really haven't seen yet. But Bradish has been really good. Andrew Kittredge returned to a bullpen session on Tuesday after doing shoulder inflammation. He felt encouraged. So, opening day status remains doubtful. I'm assuming he's going to start at least on the 7-day IL. I don't think they're going to run out. If there's any question about it with a long season, you don't want to actually do that. You want to actually run him out. I think we'll see him in April. He's already throwing. That's a good sign. Newcomer Blaze Alexander, an incredible athletic diving stop in the ground to record and out as well. He's looked good. I think clearly to me that he's going to be the second baseman while Jackson Holiday is out. So it did seem like it was a bit of a competition, and we'll see. Baseball, it can be kind of funny. Sometimes they determine things, but it looks like he's getting the lion's share of the time as well. Played really well defensively. They did go ahead and trade him. I'm thinking it's going to be him starting while Jackson Holiday is out, at least for the short time at second base or possibly third. We've seen that as well. And so because of the struggles of Kobe May with third. So we'll see how that goes as well. Taylor Ward's kind of seemed like they forgot about him, but through 24 bats, 250, 100, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, 900 OPS. Home run on Wednesday off a cutter from Noah Davis, had a 102-mile exit velocity. This is going under the radar. I love it. He's been leading off. I think that could be what we see at the start of the season, that he goes ahead and hits leadoff in the game going forward. Look, you're not going to have Westy. You're not going to have Holiday. We already talked about it. Somebody's got to lead off. I don't think there's not a lot of really good candidates unless you want to do Gunner. So I think it's possible, at least to start, we can see Taylor Ward leading off, and he's played well this spring. Gunner has been fantastic in the World Baseball Classic. 4-hit explosion on March 8th, 4 for 5, 9-1 victory over Great Britain. His manager is lousy. What are you talking about? You didn't know what the stakes of the game. Like, come on, bro. That's just, why would you say that even if you do thought that? It's just, that don't make sense. Why would you say that even if you thought that? But I don't mind guys in the World Baseball Classic, hitters especially. They're going to get work. They're actually getting more work than probably they would get in actual spring training. So that's good. I don't think it hurts hitters at all that they get more time. Chris Bassett got the save, large relief flow. So you're talking about the good outing by Bradish. And also Bassett comes in for 4 innings as well. They've all looked good. So this is a good reason to be encouraged here at the start with the way the pitchers have looked. Bassett has been outstanding. You got 4 solid starters, it looks like here. Orioles are 7-7 here in the spring as well. Thank you guys for hanging with us. Rough week. Bravery Sports Podcast. You have a great day.